Getting in here.
Yeah. Boys, it's Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Spooky. Too scary.
Happy Halloween.
I see Johnny wore his shitty podcaster cosplay. Good
No,
job.
this is my deadbeat dad costume.
Oh, okay. All
Oh
right.
God.
Sorry, it's
I'm gonna
hard to
leave.
tell between those two.
I'm gonna tell you guys I'm going to the store for a pack of smokes in the middle of the podcast. And
So being that it's Halloween, I don't
Mhm.
know what was the best costume you saw today, child or otherwise, in person or
Ooh.
otherwise too.
I mean, I think my kid's Trunks costume was pretty good. But if we're talking other children or people,
I think that's a smart thing.
It's a fair answer.
there weren't a lot of other kids out in the neighborhood. It was like Jude and then two of his friends. One of them had an inflatable T-Rex costume. That was fun.
That's pretty good.
Those are always good.
Well, Sarah and I haven't left the house today. Shocking. Working from home, and it's kind of a cold day, so I only saw photos from my brother for his kids, and I feel the absolute best was my nephew Ira as a rocket ship. It was awesome. He couldn't put his arms down, so he was just like this rocket going around. But yeah, it was a good deal.
Very cool. I think my favorite was the very first trick-or-treater I got at my house today. Who was dressed as Itachi Uchiha.
What is that?
It's an anime thing. It's from Naruto.
Chase was like, "You can have
it's
all
Sasuke's brother," and I was already telling myself before that person got there of like, whoever's the first trick or treater I have, I'm just gonna give him like a big handful of candy because I don't think I'm gonna get through.
Give him all the candy, every little bit of it.
And then the first, it didn't go great because the first trick or treater I had was actually like a big group of kids, which makes sense. That seems to be more
like older kids days. Or
no, these were like 13 and under, I would say.
Okay.
But it seems like that's happening more often, which is probably a smart thing, like buddy system stuff. But like they're all coming in like groups of 5, 6, 7 kids at a time.
Yes.
And just like walking around together, that's cool. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna give all big handfuls of candy because I don't.
Everybody gets some candy
for that, but I did look at that Itachi kid and I went, yeah, you're good, man. I got you.
That's awesome.
I got you over here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there were some other good ones. Mainly it was just a lot of people in hoodies because it's fucking cold.
Yeah,
like
it was miserable out there.
I'm sure you have a costume on underneath there. Here's your candy. Thanks for making it out here.
Get out of here before you get frostbite.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
good on them. I love Halloween. I love seeing.
Me too.
That's fun times.
That's hysterical. We are hopefully going to have some candy handing out here in the future, but since I've lived here at my house, dude, nobody comes around for it. Also,
the good news is I had like a big bag of like the Twix, Three Musketeers, Snickers, and Milky Way, like the mini ones.
Yes.
I was like, okay, that bag will get through. But I was like, just on the off chance that it doesn't, I also bought these 2 bags of Kit Kats. Didn't even get halfway through the initial bag, so I've got a bunch of Kit Kats.
Give me a break.
Whatever should you do with those?
I think I will be figuring out what to do with those for the next
foreseeable future.
60 days.
That's a fair. Chase, thank you for that cold open. Welcome to the Casual Hour. If you are tuning in tonight from one of our new locations, we are multi-streaming for the second time this week. Live on Twitch, live on YouTube, live on Kick. We've been a Twitch-based podcast for a long time. We put a lot of our quick looks in our prior streams on YouTube.
Ostensibly, some would say.
Ostensibly.
A Twitch-based podcast.
Yeah.
Now.
I will say I'm trying to monitor, like the app we use to produce the show. I can see all the chats in one location, but I can't respond back. So it's only like, and we don't typically talk to the audience when we do our show. I will say YouTube seems to have a bit of a delay on it comparatively to some of the other spots, but we've got a hell of a show. This is episode 349. We're going to be talking about, it's a lot of shows.
Too many shows.
It's a lot of shows. This is our
let's
November.
Go backwards from now. Like, let's do 348 next week.
I don't know if we want to redo that one. This is a November games preview. We're going to be talking about all the games that we think look cool in November Chase has put together a amazing list for us to go off of tonight. So hang tight. We're going to play some trailers and talk over those trailers in the back half of the episode. We have a very condensed what you've been playing here at the top, where we each brought one game. So buckle up. We got some new games to talk about that we've been playing, and even newer games that we hope to play in the future. But also we'll talk a little bit about what we've been playing this month, what we got right, and then we got to spin the wheel for Chase so he can get through his backlog. Let's go ahead and have Johnny kick things off tonight, Chase, because I know that you're going to be talking a lot in the back half. So let's get Johnny up front here, get him out of the way so we can get to the good stuff.
Finally, let's please
and
get
do
Johnny
that.
out of the way. I'm
Make-
always asking that.
Johnny,
Wake.
what have you been playing?
Oh. I have been playing some of that Alan Wake 2, guys.
Too scary. Next.
Me too. God damn, that's a fucking game, right?
Yes, it is. It's a video game, as a matter of fact. So Alan Wake 2 is the next game from Remedy, makers of Control and Quantum Break and Max Payne. And Bobby, you and I, huge fans of Control
Massive.
when it came out. And,
Massive. One of the best
I know
games
that
from last gen.
Massive's a different developer. This is Remedy.
Yes.
Right.
My
Our
mistake.
mistake. So yeah, we've been eagerly awaiting their next game, and it just came out at the end of last week, right?
The 27th, yep.
Yep. It's on Epic Games.
It's 50, right?
PS5.
50 or 60 bucks?
50.
50. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, the going rate for a lot of games is like $70 these days.
Good deal.
And it is. I never played the first game. I know.
I played that, and I played the DLC.
Right.
Yep. I didn't play the
American Nightmare stuff?
remaster of the first one,
Mhm.
but I definitely played it when it came out back in the day.
Didn't they take out the branding stuff?
I will bring that up in a moment. I got a little insider baseball for you on that one.
Good.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they've been alluding to like this connected universe. Like you found documents in the Bureau of Control that mentioned Alan Wake specifically. One of the DLCs that came out had to do with Alan Wake.
Mhm.
And now we have a full sequel 13 years after the original game came out.
Yes.
And it is. I've played 2 horror games this year that I feel perfectly executed the mood and the atmosphere that they're going for. First one being the Dead Space remake, and now Alan Wake 2. It is in the Pacific
not
Northwest.
The Calypso Protocol?
No, that game was not great. RE4 remake also very good, but I didn't get.
You didn't seem like you went into that one near as hard as the other stuff you played this year.
RE4 remake?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just.
It's I mean, it's not that old of a game.
It's really good. It's one of the best games that has come out this year. But it's also RE4.
It's just the same game, Bobby. What do you mean? But also the Dead Space remake, which I
never played Dead Space, Chase.
I understand.
You prick.
Yeah. Wow. Oh.
Sorry.
Coming
in real hot.
The deadbeat dad costume's really coming through.
Yeah. Go to your room. Do your math. Play Alan Wake, bitch.
Yeah, you should play Alan Wake. So it is also my understanding. I watched a little bit of the first game. I watched like a story recap, but this is much more like horror focused.
Oh, this is a full on survival horror.
Yeah,
the first one was
really
more
changed the tone from the first game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time.
And two protagonists. Saga is an FBI agent. Alan Wake being the other one. And you're splitting your time between the two of those people. And I so far have just controlled Saga. I think I got to a point where I will probably control Alan Wake pretty soon.
Yes. If you are where I think you are, yes.
Yeah. Man, it starts out real strong. You go to this town as big Twin Peaks energy.
Bright Falls,
and you're investigating a murder, which has some ritualistic things happening with it, and that also made me think of the True Detective a little bit.
I mean, they're on record saying that was an inspiration.
Yeah.
For this one.
Nothing is as it seems in this area. And you go to Bright Falls, you do some walking around there. You meet the townies, you meet the local cops, and I think one of the things that I like the most about the Remedy games that I played is how they write their characters,
Mhm.
and like they just feel like they feel like parts of this world, and the places that you're going and talking to them. Like it feels Bright Falls feels like I could go to this town in Washington, like, and
Yeah, 100%. It
go to
feels
the
very
deer,
livable.
yeah, go to the deer fest. And it's, oh man, I'm having trouble focusing on one thing just because I
Uh,
love
well, let me
everything
fill
about
in a
it.
few gaps for you here. So I'm a little bit further ahead of you. I think I'm probably around 6 hours into the game. Uh, the inside baseball stuff I was going to bring up, when Control came out, there was this really big news break that Remedy had regained control from Energizer for the rights to the game. And whenever this game came out, there was some pretty obscene product placement because it focused heavily on flashlights and
Mhm.
Energizer batteries for those flashlights. And
Wasn't
everybody's
there
like,
also
"What?"
a Verizon thing in there too? Like, didn't they do a "Can you hear me now" thing on a cell phone?
Potentially, I don't recall that one near as much as the Energizer
Okay.
stuff. But what was interesting with this is that when Control came out to the acclaim that it did, everybody kind of thought their movie, like Rockstar had Max Payne and Energizer had Alan Wake, and now they're moving on to Control. Well, they got the rights back, and then they said we're going to have some DLC. And when they announced what it was going to be, they just had it listed as AWE, and that was part of Control, which they had these altered world events that took place throughout the whole thing. So they thought maybe it would be tied to that somehow. And then it came out this was going to be the basically capturing, not capturing, but the finding of Alan Wake, who had been lost in the dark place since 2013. So you as Jesse go and you find Alan Wake in the Control DLC. What I want to comment on, because I don't want to spend a ton of time tonight talking about, because we got a lot to get through, is what Remedy's doing right now and has been doing in a lot of ways, but very prominently. I don't think there's somebody out there making a better universe than what Remedy is. And whether you are into the weird, obscene shit or not, the absolute conviction and the
Mhm.
believability of what's happening in this world, there's some obscene things
Yeah,
that take place in the first hour of
but
the game.
also it has a good amount of like levity and lighter moments, and they kind of wink at the camera a little bit because it's like,
Well, yeah, of course, but I'm saying that, like,
it's
what
great.
would be like in Control, for example. I don't want to
Mhm.
spoil Alan Wake stuff, but we can talk about Control. A man that has to stare at a refrigerator for hours on end to keep this thing at bay is just a very believable. That's my job. I'm literally punching the clock to stare at a refrigerator to
Mhm.
keep this entity from coming out.
Yeah, it's
And
all
that
this
man's
high
name is Hideo
strangeness
Kojima.
is just that's just the world.
That's just
Like
what it is.
that's just how things are.
And
Um,
so here in Alan Wake, there's things that happen, and everybody's just like, they're talking like, oh yeah, this thing that like my jaw's on the floor from just happened. They're like, yeah, that's not even the thing that we need to talk about. This is going on. And I'm like,
yeah,
that person just did that thing, and nobody's gonna address it like it's a weird thing. Like, nope, this is totally
yeah,
normal.
it's
But the
huh.
pacing's really cool, the controls are
Hmm.
really cool, and I love how much they've just brought threads in from Control. Like, there's a ton of stuff that
I mean,
there
you're
is.
going into an area that has been quarantined by the FBC, and you
Mhm.
bump into an FBC employee there that is fixing some piece of equipment that does something, and he's like, "Oh, it just like reading different readings and stuff," and gives a very vague answer, and like says something keeps messing up the wiring in here. It's probably raccoons. And you're like, it's probably not raccoons. Um,
It's a very intense game.
mhm.
If you struggle with,
I
like,
was gripping my controller
yeah,
during
it's a
one of
very
the,
uncomfortable game.
yeah.
But it's very well done. I'm loving it so far. I'm pushing forward in this world because I love the world so much, but I'm so far I will say Control is like the sweet spot of strangeness, uncomfortableness, and action, where Alan Wake
Mhm.
spends a lot of time indexing on the uncomfortable parts for me. But I
Yeah,
also don't have a
and
long track record of playing games like this either.
yeah. Um, so yeah, feeling I'm like maybe 3 hours into it,
Hmm. I think it's what,
feeling
19, 20 hours.
something like that.
Yeah,
We'll
not terribly
get
long.
we'll probably get more check-ins as we.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Because I feel like I'm just unwrapping like the very top layers of this onion.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it next week when Johnny's had a little bit more, and we'll unpack some of it.
By the way, Johnny, you peel an onion. You don't unwrap an onion. It's not a little present for you.
Well,
I mean,
I've been playing something new also outside of Alan Wake, a game that I've been excited to talk to you two about called Endless Dungeon. We covered this last month on the show. This came out on October 19th. It's put out by Amplitude Studios and published by Sega. Apparently, there's an endless universe. I guess I've been under a rock. There's a ton of games that fall into this. This one is an actual spiritual successor to another Dungeon of Endless, I believe is what they called it. So it's kind of
won't get confusing at all.
Well, it's kind of like Lords of the Fallen, then became Lords of the Fallen, then Lords of the Fallen again.
The Lords of the Fallen.
Sorry. I talked to both of you about this offline, but this game, I think I would call it an RTS Tower Defense Hades. It's a run-based game that has...
I think that's accurate from the bit that I played of it.
You have a bunch of heroes that you can unlock in the game. You have a hub world that you're unlocking more elements to. You can have up to 3 people playing this. You can do it co-op as well. Otherwise, you're taking 3 playable characters out. They each have unique abilities and proficiency. Some might be better healers. Some might be more tanks. Some might be more glass cannons. You have these doors that you're opening throughout each level of the floor. Behind the door could be a chest. Behind the door could be a nest that enemies spawn from. You have a crystal that you need to move through the world and protect. It stays stationary until you get to the end door or until you find like a hidden break in the wall or the floor that you want to see if there's treasure there. If you move it, the hordes come. So think about it this way. You've got your big map. You don't have to open every door. Quite honestly, like I think the strategy here is not to open doors. Be as very minimal as you can. But if you open up a bunch of doors, you'll find things like generators, and you can choose 3 elements that will get you either more defensive currency or more upgrade currencies to use on your runs. The other thing that happens is you also get the probability of all these enemies coming after you at different areas and times whenever the wave does happen, because there's a timer going on. So even if you don't move your crystal, eventually the wave will come. But all throughout the area, there's spots where you can spawn a turret if you've got the currency for it. You can upgrade those turrets through stations in the game to be either more combustion or to be more elemental damage. And each enemy type is going to be weak to electrical or fire or poison. So you need to be strategic on what you have available. There's also elemental weapons that you can find and upgrade on your runs, which make a big difference. The weapon types so far have been pistols, more of like a buckshot shotgun type, or a long range, kind of a twin stick shooter vibe when you're playing it. You have 2 abilities. One is just like a rechargeable cooldown, quick AoE attack. Then there's a full on special that you can get. You are looking for keys as you're progressing through this tower. And when you get back to the saloon, which is your home base area, if you find keys on your run, you can unlock new parts of the dungeons. And they tie character upgrades to quests that are in those areas. So like one of the characters, if you find a letter next to an escape pod, that will unlock their journey into being able to have more passive abilities or buffs or things like that you can unlock with it. I'm having a ton of fun with it. It's got a really satisfying loop, high replayability. I would love to play it with other people because it can be hard to keep tabs on all the shit. Like, okay, fuck, I just have these hordes coming. I need to protect my generator. I need to protect the crystal. The one thing that they do that's really smart, in my opinion, if you are under attack, you can hold the up button and that will immediately transplant you next to the crystal. So if you're out running around opening doors and things start to go sideways, you can just hold that button and it'll immediately bring you back to the crystal, which is really, really smart. I've unlocked, I think, 4 characters so far. There's a healer that's really fun. I would probably need to have somebody else with me for that. But what I've been doing is just switching over when shit kind of hits the fan there. It's really, really cool. I think some people were not thrilled with some of the progression elements when they launched, but I found they've been patching it up pretty good. It's currently at a mixed on Steam, but I'm having a good time with it. It's got a really, really cool style, plays very well, optimized for Steam Deck, Ally, any of those handheld PCs if you have a means to it. I believe it's on PlayStation and Xbox as well, but I do not think that there's crossplay between PC and console. But you can do PC crossplay if you have it on Epic or Steam. But yeah, that's Endless Dungeon. We'll quick look at here soon. It's very cool. I haven't put as much time into it recently because of Alan Wake and Spider-Man and Mario, but I'm having a good time with it nonetheless.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, I struggled with what to talk about tonight because I was not on last week's episode when you guys talked
Mhm.
about Mario Wonder.
Mhm.
I've been playing some of that game, but Bobby would yell at me if I tried to talk about that.
Yep, we have rules, Chase.
Yep, Bobby would also yell at me if I tried to talk about Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia, which for some reason I just played 40 hours of in the last week.
Chase, why don't you talk
Oh my
about
God.
Reverse 1999?
That's what I ended up doing. I was like, I should play a new game, so I played a new game. This one, I can't remember if I saw a YouTube video for it or an ad, maybe. I just thought it looked okay. It's called Reverse 1999. I will say up front, this is a gotcha game. So if that's something that's not to your taste, totally get it, get out. In fact,
Oh,
I will not be
this
sticking with
looks
it.
like the most
Oh
gotcha
my
game.
God, Chase.
Yeah. So basically, the idea here is that it's from a Chinese developer called Bluepock, and it's got an intriguing setup where it's kind of like, I mean, you've all remember the scene from Inception where like the world is kind of folding
Yeah.
in on itself,
Mhm.
and that's kind of what's going on here. The idea is that they didn't make it to the millennium, like, and instead they were going in reverse from 1999. So things are kind of going
Were you going to
backwards, but
party like
also,
it's 1999?
we tried, and then like my character's in like the 1920s right now. It's all a little loosey goosey. I got in because I thought the story stuff sounded interesting, and it had a really nice live 2D kind of art
Mhm.
style that has like a Genshin look, like a 2D
Yeah.
Genshin look.
Is this in London?
Some of it is. There's a lot of people who are talking British. So yeah, kinda. It's
Does it play like
y-
Genshin?
no. This is a turn-based strategy card game. So I was like, okay,
Oh,
yeah,
Casual Mondays.
let's fucking
Mm.
go. Let's fucking go. Let's see what this is. And it's got cool art, and the story stuff's intriguing. So I thought, yeah, let's give this a shot. The story stuff is pretty incomprehensible. So this is a Chinese game. It does have
That's why.
full
What?
complete English voice acting though. So you're like, damn, okay, you guys put some money in this. This game's actually been out in China since May, but just released to the West on the 26th. It's on. I'm playing it on my iPad. It's on Android as well. It also says it's on Windows, but I mean, I don't know if it's on Steam or something like that. But the story stuff is kind of incomprehensible. They do throw you in media res at the beginning, and you kind of already don't know what's going on. There's a girl who's doing like a pirate radio station. There's some kind of foundation that is immune to the time changes, kind of, and is like
Oh,
recruiting different people to be in like the time cop club.
you're
It
obsessed with
seems.
Ann Lee. I know it.
I
That's
don't
your
know who that
girl.
is. I don't know who that is.
Well,
There's also a billion fucking characters in this game.
yeah, there seems to be a lot. Like some
Which
very
is kind of the most interesting part to me is just when I get enough for the free gotchas, I throw in there and I just see what I get, because sometimes you'll get like a rocking horse that
What?
okay.
talks. All the characters fucking talk, even the low tier characters. It's like they all have voice acting.
If I'm not
That's
mistaken,
pretty crazy.
it looks like it starts in the 20s and works its way up, like 1929 maybe.
Kind of, but it also, from the story, it seems like it's bouncing around all the time.
Well, yeah, like I think the oldest I'm seeing is the
Johnny,
20.
get your naked son off our podcast.
I thought it was. What is he doing?
It's being naked.
Gathering a dog that was
He's
lying in here.
freeing the nipple. That's what he's doing.
Oh my god.
We're gonna get
So
demonetized because of your
we
son's butt
definitely are. We
cheeks.
can't have that. You can't have that. Anyway, so the story is kind of incomprehensible, so that's fine. The characters are still kind of cool, but it is like a gotcha style system. So I'm gonna say kind of strike two on that. What about the combat, you'll ask? That's the thing
Yeah,
that
what
got
about
you
the combat,
excited.
Chase?
It's turn-based strategic card stuff. Like, that sounds up my alley. And it kind of is, except because the game wants to be so visually interesting, the cards don't have any words on them.
What?
So
But
you
how do you
don't.
know what it does?
They have some like symbol-y stuff on there that you, I guess, start to understand. But also you can hold, you can tap and hold on a card, and it will then pull up its information, which is fine. It's just really slow, but it makes it look nice, and that's okay. But the basic idea here is that you can play the different cards. You get like a hand of 5, 6, something like that. And you can just tap on individual cards, and you get one action per character in your party. Sometimes you'll have 2 characters to start with. I've had a party of up to 4 at one point. I think it goes maybe even a little bit higher as you keep completing story missions. So you can tap on different spells to have those spells go. There's buffs for your team. There's debuffs. There's attacks. There's AOE's. Kind of general stuff. But what you can also do is drag the cards around, and as you drag the cards, if you drag 2 cards together that match, they become an even stronger version of that spell, and then the cards kind of collapse in on each other, so you can get combos of spells to, okay, these 2 1 stars combine to a 2 star, these 2 1 stars combine to a 2 star, and now the 2 2 stars have combined to a 3 star, and now that spell is super powerful, so I can do that. Moving a card does take one of your actions, though, so you have to, so sometimes you either have to sacrifice something to get your big combo move, or you have to choose something in a way where, okay, I pick this card that's actually between these 2 other cards, so that's going to be my attack, but then that card goes away, and the 2 cards that were there can now combine into each other, so I didn't have to use a move. So there's like a little puzzly strategic aspect in there too, which is kind of cool. But it still just kind of goes back to the problem of, I don't really understand what these moves do, unless I'm tapping and holding, and also I'm not going to read all that. So
Have you spent any money on this?
I spent $5.
Did you get the
just
Roaring Month pack?
Is that the one that comes with Bunny Bunny?
I don't know if that's.
Bunny?
It was either
Is
a
Bunny
300.
Bunny?
So I was
Is
just
Bunny
looking at
Bunny
the.
an actual bunny, or is it a
No,
person?
it's a bunny girl waitress who's got like a big burger and fries, and she also has a southern drawl. And when you unlock her, she's like, y'all want fries with that? And I'm like, oh, you're just my favorite.
I'm guessing that you probably got the Roaring Month pack. So honestly, like I'm looking at the prices here. I'm on the iOS website for this, seeing what the in-app purchases are. It starts at 99 cents and it goes up to 24.99. I don't think that's very egregious for a game like this.
It's not. I will tell you, what you're getting for your money is very little.
Yeah.
They do have like, hey, here's your kind of, not battle pass. I mean, they have your normal login bonuses. That's what they're all going to have, and then they have, I guess it's kind of like a season pass where it's like you
Yeah,
buy
they have
this,
the
and now
monthly
you'll get
one.
like you get like extra bonuses
Hmm.
for an entire month. Fire Emblem Heroes does a similar kind of thing. And then they also have here individual purchases. But I've only been playing this for a couple days. I don't feel like you get a whole lot from buying a thing. I have gotten pretty good amounts of login bonuses so far, and they also have like an opening banner of, hey, you get this banner until you pull one of the 6 stars, one of the best ones. And so that's like your starter banner. You're just going to keep going until they give you one, and you'll get one at your 30th one if you haven't gotten one before. I don't know. It's not. I'm going to say it's not great. I probably won't stick with it. I think it's really pretty. I think it's got some great music and some really nice visuals. And I think it's really cool that all the characters are voice acted, and like it
Those
seems like there's a lot of
Those
effort
Chinese
put into
devs
this.
they just put a lot of money into like look at
They,
Genshin. I've heard good things about Honkai Star Rail.
yeah, that's also a MiHoYo
Also,
thing.
yep. Hmm.
The problem I've had with a lot of these different Chinese games is that they almost always look gorgeous. They put all their money into that, and they're usually super complex
Hmm.
at the high end. Where for Genshin, it is you need to spend all the money getting all the characters, or not getting all the characters, but getting multiples of the same character because it goes into making that character even stronger. This does that too, where it has like, okay, you got a multiple, you don't just burn that, it goes into the other character and makes them stronger and unlocks more skills for them. But I find them kind of unfun to play moment to moment. I found that with Genshin. I found that with this. I found that with a lot of them. There's another one that I saw a trailer for called Project Mugen or Mugen, not the fighting game simulator. Um, you guys should watch that trailer. I guess that game's supposed to come out sometime next year or maybe even the year after. That trailer's fucking wild. It's just anime Spider-Man. Like
I saw
it's
that trailer.
Okay.
yeah,
It's
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 the
it's
trailer's fucking cool.
it's
Sold.
what Genshin Impact was to Breath of the Wild at the cuff. It's a very different
Yeah,
game, but we all like, oh,
totally.
this is just riffing on that. When you see this trailer, it's literally Genshin Impact Spider-Man.
Yeah, it really is. Now that one we don't know if that's a gotcha yet. It absolutely will be. They specifically
Absolutely,
said it.
absolutely is.
So I'm interested to see what some of these things are. I mean, we saw that other Chinese game that one time that's kind of like the Pokemon with guns one.
Isn't that coming out
Um,
this year?
January
Okay.
on Game
I
Pass, my
I
friend.
can't
cool. Yeah.
believe that's a real
Yeah.
Pal
thing.
World. I will be
Yeah.
there day one, my boys.
I mean, I'm scared. It's kind of the same thing with a lot of these Chinese games that that's just like the culture of development. It seems there is like make something that looks slick as fuck and also super fucking complex. But maybe you'll get enough people because it's all free to play shit.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
Chase,
Anyway,
let's
it's all right. I'll stick with it for like another couple days. If
yeah.
anything, just to see more Bunny because she's great. She's my favorite.
Fresh in your coffee, hon?
Yeah.
I know that you are all in bunny land, but was there anything from last month that you think you got right? Is my question.
I think playing Pokemon Emerald Rogue was a fantastic idea. Yes,
I have been playing some of that.
it's so good.
It's really good.
It's so good. I'm a little disappointed I beat it so quickly.
Well, let's not get into that too much. Let's just talk through what we had going on last month.
I thought you wanted to spin the. I was trying to get you to spin the wheel. I know you wanted to transition to the other thing, but I think we need to spin the wheel.
I don't know.
That's how
I don't like that we do the wheel before we talk about our prior months, because now we're going into what we're doing this month, and then we go back. But yeah, we'll spin the wheel. Let me pull that up here.
I view spinning the wheel as separate from the preview.
Wheel.
Then what? I think that you've got this built into the wheel. I think this is built into the preview.
If you think that, we can change it up. That was not the intent.
Well, we're talking about stuff for the month. Let me switch this over because now I got to switch over to the preview. Let me get that pulled up. Okay. Let's spin the wheel and see what Chase will be talking about.
There was a time where I thought I was only going to do this 12 times for 1 year and then call it a day. But I'm having so much fun with it. I think I might just keep going with this, unless something really bad shows up here. Oh shit, Bobby, it's time.
Yes!
We got a new thing to do on Monday nights.
Oh, that game
sorry,
rules.
Pokemon trading card game. You were fun.
Dude, I will play this however you want me to play it, Chase. If you want me to be a dickhead, I'll be your dickhead party member.
You're already.
But I think what we need to look into is if we can cross-play. If we can cross-play, it's a done deal. If not, I'll pick it up on PlayStation. I could probably find a key for this very inexpensive at this point in time.
Yeah, I already own this on PlayStation, so that's where I would.
Hot damn, dude!
It.
I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, me too. I think that'll be fun. Yeah, Wasteland 3.
And you've never played the other ones, right?
No.
This is basically the spiritual successor for the early days of Fallout.
Right, and I haven't played any of those original Fallouts either, so this will kind of be a new experience.
This is maybe one of my favorite things that you've gotten picked this year.
Well, yeah.
Like this thing
for
fucking
you,
rules.
absolutely it is.
It does not have crossplay.
Okay,
All
we'll
right.
figure it out. We'll make something like that happen.
Okay.
Is this a game where if I play it with you, I kind of have to exclusively play it with you, or can I play
No,
some
no.
stuff
What I
solo
would
with
say is, so you can basically we can create characters and you can just have them. So if you wanted to make me in the game, that way when I show up, like I'll just play as me. But
Okay.
you're not losing anything. It's just like an aesthetic at that point in time. Like you could say, hey Bobby, I want you to be more of a heavy weapons guy, or I want you to be more of a stealth guy. Like you can make me whatever you want it to be.
But you're not bringing your own character into my game. You're just
No,
joining my game.
I'll be
and then
joining
playing
your
as one of
game.
the
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. I see. Cool.
So if you wanted to do it that
Nice.
way, and like you could play it at your pace, like I did not beat this game, but if you wanted to play it on Mondays for something to do, like, hey, like let's just commit to you getting some time with it. It's a big game. I doubt you would beat it in a month.
Right. And I don't even know if I'm necessarily planning on beating it. It would be more just like, hey, I want to experience it. That's the point of the wheel. But I also imagine that if I only locked myself into playing it for an hour to an hour and a half on Mondays, I would never get to the end.
I'm saying I would probably.
How's Baldur's Gate 3 going, by the way? Did you guys finish that?
Johnny hasn't even beat his own yet.
No.
I
played some of it this week. I played for a couple hours.
We'll
yeah,
end up
not your Friday saves, right?
No.
So that to that point, I want to.
Chase gets real cocky after a 7-month hiatus of his fucking YouTube channel. He puts out 2 videos and starts to shame us on not playing our Friday games.
Wait till tomorrow and it'll be 3 videos.
Hey, proud of you,
baby. Wasteland 3, that's cool. I'm excited about that.
That one's awesome. You will appreciate it. I think. I don't know if you'll like it, but you'll appreciate it.
I think I'll like it. I mean, to be fair, I thought I was gonna like Mutant Year Zero and ended up not really liking it.
This is better, in my opinion.
Cool. All right. Very nice.
That's awesome.
So yes,
hell of a spin.
Out of 90 games, finally one.
Hell of a spin.
Let's move into our preview for the month of November. And as Bobby says, before we get into the preview of the month proper, we have to take a look back at the month that was October. Great month. Great month, by the way. Well, I mean, maybe for the world, not so good. It was my birthday, so that was cool. Got to play Pokemon Emerald Rogue. That was cool too. But from the games that we saw last month, we thought, hey, that might be cool. That might be something I pick up. Let's go and see what we got here. Bobby, I think I'm going to start with you. You had Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is something we have done a quick look on. That quick look's up, correct? People can see it. It seems like a pretty solid Assassin's Creed.
Not the best Assassin's Creed, but one I like.
Yeah. You also had Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Apparently that game was very disappointing.
I have beaten it.
Yeah. Terrible, right?
Not good. I'll talk about that more next week. But yeah, man, that game was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've heard from some other friends that game is quite good too. Also, apparently an easy platinum is what
I keep hearing that. Yeah.
You had Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Loving it.
Fantastic
video game.
It's a good game. It's a good game right there. Alan Wake 2, which we just talked about tonight, and
another banger. Just came out today, right?
I'm gonna play it tonight. I got it downloaded. So
I was looking this up for myself because I also have Jusan on my list, and I was like, I never got to Jusan. And then I looked it up and went, oh wait, that doesn't come out until today. Yeah, I'm
it
fine.
just came out, but
okay.
I think it's getting pretty good reception from what I've seen. Let me pull that up really quick. But yeah, this game's getting very good. It's a PC Gamer gave it an 88%. It's Eurogamer's 4 out of 5. OpenCritic, it's sitting at an 83. People seem that's Don't Nod too. For anybody who's not familiar, that's a new take on what they're doing.
Well, we'll have to see where it sits on the Chase Koenige scale because that's the only one that matters.
It's all 0.
But yeah, I feel confident. I've played Jusant. We did that stream on the Next Fest, so everything that I have here, I can confidently say I think is a solid pick for.
You had a pretty good month. Good month of picks. I'll go next. I had Long Gone Days, which was a game, which still is a game that I've owned for an extremely long time, but now I own them on the Switch for even more money.
I
am me. I am definitely me. I still haven't played it, but I plan on playing it at this point. This is not just going to go on the wheel famous last words. It'll probably go on the wheel.
Hmm.
I also had Subpar Pool, which is
Fantastic
a
game.
pretty solid little
Have you
iOS
beat
game.
that?
What is beating it?
Yeah, I know.
But I've played a decent amount of it. By the way, just a little question for you: Are we frozen on the stream, or is that just me?
No,
Mine's
I
just
think
buffering the hell.
I think it's
it's not
thanks
frozen
you.
on my end.
Okay, good. Just me. That's great. I also had Super Mario Wonder, which good, pretty good. Jusan, and then Dave the Diver, which I think I was the first person to play this.
Stop it.
On the
You shut your whore
Yeah.
mouth, Chase.
Fair enough. Yes. So I did pick up Dave the Diver. It came out on the 26th on the Switch, so I've been playing a little bit of that. I think it plays pretty solidly.
Yeah, I would imagine it plays fantastic there.
I'm a little I don't think I'm as in love with it as you were, but I kind of respect
Oh
what
wow,
it's doing.
it's an earth-shattering fucking statement from Chase.
I know, crazy. I do think I pegged it right where I thought to myself, hey, I'm gonna really like the diving part, and I'm not going to like the restaurant management part. And so far that is staying true to what I thought. But hey, still really cool game, and nice pixel art. I really like the pixel art in that. Johnny, you had Spider-Man 2, which you said you beat and liked, or did you beat, or you just liked?
No, not yet.
Okay, right.
I don't know where
Johnny
I'm
doesn't
at
finish games.
in the
That
story.
doesn't happen. You had Lords of Fallen. How'd that go?
Mm-hmm. I haven't played it yet.
Okay. Okay. Alan Wake 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Cities Skylines 2. Did you play that one?
No, because I heard it needs to be patched a
I mean,
lot.
they've been that dev's been very open about the state that game's in, which is not great.
So I, rather than be disappointed with the state it's in now, I was like, I'll just wait because it's on Game Pass.
I mean, it's still better than the latest SimCity game, right?
That's true.
Yes.
That is true.
We had some good picks for October, though. I think October was.
I think October was a solid month for video game releases.
Totally.
Maybe not for video games in general, but for video game releases.
Yeah.
So let's move into the month of November. PlayStation Plus games as of this recording were still not shown. So we're not going to cover that. Xbox Games with Gold is dead. They put a bullet in it.
It's gone.
So I will throw over to Bobby, and he will tell us about games that are new to Game Pass this month. Bobby, what are we seeing?
We've got a lot coming out. We'll talk more about them here in just a moment. So I'm going to get through these quick. But we've got Thirsty Suitors coming out on November 2nd on Game Pass for all cloud, console, and PC. Football Manager 2024 is going to be on cloud, console, and PC on November 6th. Dungeons 4 will be on cloud, console, and PC on November 9th. Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name will be cloud, console, and PC on the 9th as well. Wild Hearts, which is the Monster Hunter that came out a while ago. That's going to hit cloud, console, and PC after they announced they're not going to be putting any more money into that game. And then Spirit Tea, which is a very pretty looking game.
They're going to have to say Sayonara, Wild Hearts.
Damn. That was also that was an Apple Arcade game, not Game Pass. Spirit Tea, which I don't know if we're talking about that. I can't remember. That's on the 13th.
I can't remember.
I think that might be out already. And then Coral Island, which we have talked about because it was in a preview, is coming out of a preview state or an early access state, it looks like, for cloud. Or maybe it was just on PC. Maybe it's just coming to cloud and Xbox Series S and the PC versions there on the 14th. That's the Game Pass updates. Shall we show off some trailers?
Yeah, let's get into it. I'm gonna say it's a really heavy amount of games in the early part of the month, and then in the back part of the month, things kind of fall off dramatically. But let's we still have a ton of fucking games to talk about, and I had to cut a ton from this list as well. So let's start on the first with Alien Hominid Invasion coming to PC, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. This is a sequel to the 2002 Flash game.
I was to say, this is like an EPOM's World game, right?
Wow. This was Newgrounds. Specifically,
Newgrounds, yes.
I believe the creator of Newgrounds did help make this game.
Wow.
So Invasion adds 4-player co-op. It looks like a big, ridiculous time. Did anybody play Alien Hominid back in the day?
Dude.
I don't know if
either
I
the
did or not.
Flash one or
Yeah, I played the
the
Flash one.
came out on GameCube too, as like Alien Hominid HD. They made an actual console release for it. Which, speaking of, also is getting ported, Alien Hominid HD,
Hmm.
to these same platforms on the same day, and there is a bundle where you can buy both of them together.
Neat.
So, or you can buy them separately. Yeah, Alien Hominid Invasion seems
Is this the
made me
same
feel good.
dev?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
But yeah, made me feel good. Like, oh yeah, remember Flash animation? That was a time.
Hell
That
yeah.
was a good time. Next on the second, My Time at Sandrock is coming to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. This is a full release of this game that has been in early access since May of 2022, I believe. Bobby, I feel like you talked about this game before. Maybe you even played it.
Yeah, I have it. So this was in early access. I played it right when it came out. I bounced off of the original one, which is My Time at Palia, I think maybe. Porsche. It was on the Switch. It did not play well there. This one, however, it was really, really, really rough on there. I think this has got a lot of potential.
When you say really rough, is like running slow, like it had
Yeah,
too many assets or something that it was. Just
it was really chugging, man. Like a lot of drop frames and like hitching up. I was just like early trying to run between the farm and town, and it was just really. This was on the launch Switch at the time, so maybe a little bit better now. But anyway. This seemed like it had a ton of promise. If you've played like a Stardew Valley or something like that, it's very much in that ballpark. This one does have some pretty intense combat elements, which I think are cool. Some RPG elements with that. There's a lot of fun stuff here. I like the townsfolk quite a bit, and the questing seems all right. I will definitely be firing this one back up when it launches to see where they've come with it. But I was having a great time with it so far. I thought they did a nice job.
Very cool. Moving on, also on the second, RoboCop Rogue City is coming.
Dude,
to PC,
Johnny
PS5,
played this thing. He said it was good.
I played the demo for it.
This is shocking to me. It looks like it couldn't possibly be good, right?
It got some. I think it got like relatively decent reviews.
It did. Yeah, people are pretty hot on it for what it. I mean, and for what it is.
It made me rewatch RoboCop this week. I just rewatched that movie last night.
I guess that's my main question. Should I play this game or should I just rewatch RoboCop?
I mean, you could do both. Look, I played the demo. I played like 30 minutes, and it's every bit as over the top and ridiculous.
You said you're just basically a tank, right?
Yeah, you're just like a walking refrigerator, and you're just in there just straight decimating people.
Yeah. I think the whole point is that your sweet ass gun has no recoil on it anyway. So like where's the game part of it? It's just just a murder simulator.
The environment is interactable, so you can like pick up computer monitors and chuck them at bad guys. You can pick bad guys up and chuck them at other bad guys. Like you feel like, which is what you want, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Like if you feel like fucking RoboCop, and you're just
outside of the combat, it also seems, especially from this trailer, like they are trying to get inside the head of RoboCop and talk
my understanding too is that this is how many RoboCops were there? Was there 4 of them? 3 of them?
I think so. And then they rebooted it, and
they rebooted it a couple years ago. But this is supposed to take place kind of mid-swing, right? Through the series. I don't think this takes place.
Look, man, you're asking the wrong guy about the RoboCop lore. It had been so long since I'd seen that first movie.
Are you going to pick this one up, you think? You seem pretty... You kept telling me to play the demo.
You should play the demo. Look, is it as good as the other games that I am currently juggling right now? No. Do I see myself picking this up later on, like maybe during a sale? Absolutely.
Okay.
I think this is a cool like B game. Like this.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
It feels like the type of game that we don't get that much anymore.
Oh, excuse me. Rocky City would like a word.
Okay.
Dude, I think that they actually added some stuff to that game.
Oof, man, is anyone playing it?
I bet it's all fixed now.
Yeah,
they deleted it.
Bobby,
that fixed
it's
it.
at least worth your time to check out the demo.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I was too busy playing all the other games that you neglected while you're
Right.
running around shooting
Quiet.
people. Quiet
we
you.
do need to get a chat reward that's can you fly, Bobby?
Yes, we will add that to the bucket.
Yeah, we'll figure out something to do with that.
Is this
Man,
another gotcha game, Chase?
RoboCop's a good music. Or good game. No, this is not a gotcha game. This is a classic RPG coming up next. Also on the second, Star Ocean: The Second Story R, coming to PC, Switch, PS4, and PS5. So this is a remake of the
It just looks like you
1990.
forgot
Oh,
to.
is that what the
Rick,
R
you
stands for?
didn't finish typing
Yeah,
the title.
R is the remake. It's
Ah.
that's what it is. It's they
They
What's
got
with
more
all these
2D
asinine
HD.
titles.
that you'll have to talk to 1999 developers to ask them why they did that.
Is that when this one originally came out?
Yes.
Okay.
I played the first Star Ocean, which is first Star Ocean First Departure R. So that remake that came out on the Switch, and I actually had a really good time with it. I think my only problem with it was that this game series is about how, oh, it's space stuff, but also it's knights and swords and shields. And the game starts out with this really Star Trekky thing, and then it just, for the rest of the game, they go, it's all sword and shield fantasy shit
Oh
now.
God.
And you go, what happened to the spaceship? And this game looks like I never played Star Ocean until just a couple years ago when I played the remake of the first one. This one seems much more.
Was
of
that
a
RoboCop in
combination.
here? It looked like
Kinda,
RoboCop.
yeah,
Is RoboCop in this game?
He'd buy it for $1. I'll tell you that. Yeah, this seems like it has a better combination mixing of the future stuff and the past stuff. And
It sure looks like the
think,
combat's like a game that you did not like the combat from, that looked a lot like this game.
which one?
The sequel came out this year that you refused to play. Johnny's obsessed with it.
Oh no, this is not a turn-based strategy. This is not a turn-based RPG. This is action RPG. So
Okay.
no problems with it being like Octopath.
Okay.
We're safe. We're safe from the Octopath. Yeah, I've heard this is a great game. I think this remake looks really pretty, and
Yeah, it's got a good look to it. So this is a day one for you.
I think this is.
Nice.
Which, goddamn, that day one is very, very soon.
You gonna be playing this on your PlayStation?
No, I'm gonna play this on my Switch.
You're gonna play it on your PC?
I'm gonna play this on my Switch, obviously.
God, you slut.
It's just easier. It's where I play my video games. It makes sense. Moving on, also on the second is Thirsty Suitors. Bobby mentioned this as a game coming to Game Pass, but it's also coming to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. This thing just looks insane.
I played it. It's really cool.
From the very first moment I saw it.
Yeah, it plays very well.
So is it as much of like a, like, it's not like WarioWare exactly, but it feels like there's always a different thing happening where you play it in lots of different ways.
So the demo that I played, it felt more like a, how do I explain? It's like a turn-based fighting game. So imagine like Mortal Kombat, but turn-based. And you were in an argument with an ex of yours, and it reminded me at times of Florence and Boyfriend Dungeon on the way that it was handling like the kind of back and forth elements of an argument with some of the sassiness of Boyfriend Dungeon. It had a ton of style to it. I'm excited it's going to be on Game Pass, because I was like, this is something I'd like to spend more time with. And I think it being there, I don't know if I would have picked it up right away, not because of the game, but just I got so much I'm playing that I think I could probably make it an hour or two here and there to check this one out. But you are coming back to the hometown. There's a lot of baggage with that. And you're feeling it. I think in our description you wrote a little Scott Pilgrim, and that's very true.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's pulling from a ton of different inspirations, and it's wearing them all in its sleeve. Where parts by Scott Pilgrim, also there's like in the overworld or normal world or whatever it is, there is definitely some, hey, we just have some skateboarding in here. Like, we just threw a little Tony Hawk action into the game. It does deal with Indian culture and Indian parents specifically, and expectations that go on there. So it has a little bit of some Venba vibes in that same way. But this just seems off the rails wild in the stuff that it is doing, to the point where I'm like, man, I kind of want to know more about Thirsty Suitors.
You two have probably heard of Outer Loop. They had that game Falcon Age a few years back.
Yeah.
That's the same people making this one.
Okay.
They're the CEO or developer, the main guy from Outer Loop's been pretty active on Twitter, and he's got a lot of good social commentary. But he's also been talking a lot about this game was made about as ethically as it could be, fair wages, a very cool environment, no crunch. I think it's worth supporting where you can for that for sure. It's got a lot of heart to it, and I'm excited to see more of it for sure.
Yeah, the devs do seem really cool. I think this was like when Waypoint died and Remap started.
Mhm.
That they had like a Waypoint interview that they then played on Remap because Waypoint
Yeah,
was
why
dead at
not?
that point. But there was an interview that Patrick did with some of the developers, and
Yeah,
they just seem like really cool people.
yeah, they were really neat.
Um, we spoke, or I spoke of WarioWare talking about this game, but a new WarioWare game is coming out on the 3rd. WarioWare Move It,
Move it, move
Yeah.
it. Hell yeah!
uh, coming out exclusively to the Nintendo Switch, of course.
I don't think I've ever played one of these.
A WarioWare game in
Yeah,
general,
yeah,
They're very good.
I would say this probably shouldn't be your first one, but they are really, really good.
cool.
My main problem is I think the handheld ones are all almost perfect, and all the home console ones are fun at a party, but
Yeah,
not fun playing by yourself. And this
that's the
one
best
seems to
party.
kind of, yeah, this one kind of seems like it has the same issues of it wants to do
Is it
move stuff. So
Is it Japanese game show antics? Is that basically what it is?
a lot of it is, but
Yeah.
there's also like some classic Nintendo game stuff in there. There's a
Okay.
character named 8 Volt, I think, 16 Volt. I can't remember his name exactly, but he has like a bunch of old Nintendo games that you'll get like pieces of as you play. I think the movement stuff and using the Joy Cons as ways of holding and moving and doing stuff, it could be kind of cool. The problem with any of ones that have the move stuff in them, and the Wii one also had that WarioWare smooth moves, is that because there are so many different actions you can do with the motion, the mini games, like the point of a WarioWare game is like it is a rapid
Yeah.
succession of
Yeah.
these micro games. And when you have to kind of slow it down for the player just so they can comprehend, oh, what do you want me to do for this one? I feel like you get more of that slow reaction time in these more motion based ones, whereas the original WarioWare, you had the A button and the B button,
Sure.
and the D pad, and
Yeah.
so like you're running around with that stuff. Or there was WarioWare Twisted, which I still think is the best one. That was the second one, where it's just using the gyroscope, but you're really just kind of moving back and forth, and it's more about precise movement. I thought that game
Is
was
this
fucking fantastic too.
is this just yeah? You like those games, right? So here you go. Let's see. You finished in that. Went to a liberal arts college.
Uh, mm, maybe I think there's something more that this is these are just quick hits. Like
Mhm.
you can't get bored of any one of these because there's just a
Oh,
fuckload
this
of
is just
them.
ADD the game.
Yes, 100%.
Okay,
Yes.
But WarioWare
fair.
games have been pretty good. I hope this one's good too. I'm just never all that excited about the home console ones,
Yeah,
especially when
fair.
they want you to, I just want to sit down and play a cool WarioWare game, and this one wants you to stand up and wave your arms and do a bunch of stuff.
Don't make me do
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Like even when they did WarioWare Gold, which was, hey, we took a bunch of the best micro games from all the WarioWare games in the past and we threw them onto one cartridge. Even that had a problem with like the processing of, okay, wait, this is a button one. Okay, this is a twisty one. This is the gyroscope one. Okay, this one is using the touch screen, and they had to slow down because I can't, like, physically you can't touch the buttons and have the stylus and do the things, or oftentimes they would go, okay, we siphoned off, these are just the twisted ones where we're just doing the gyroscope for these ones. I was like, man, it'd be nice if you just made like a game around one mechanic
yeah.
that was easy to do. All right, let's keep moving on. We've had a RoboCop, but what about a RoboQuest?
This
RoboQuest
one,
is coming out on November 7th. What's up, Bobby?
this has been out for game preview for a bit too on Game
Okay,
Pass.
nice. Very cool.
It's cool. It's got a good feel.
Well, now it's coming out fully on PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. They bill it as a roguelite
Mhm.
FPS. seems very fast paced.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's got a really good game feel to it for as fast as it's moving. It feels very aware of its place and speed, and there's a shit ton that you can open up on it. I think it's a cool concept. I can't remember if it was co-op or not. I think it might be. But it's cool. I mean, Johnny, this is definitely something that we should look into.
Out. It looks awesome.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this: seeing this trailer,
Mhm.
because this was my question as I watched it. Do you feel like
I own this game.
There you go.
Do you feel like you were able to pull off these kinds of moves, or is this in this trailer is somebody playing this game at an extremely high level?
I don't think it's
When the fuck did I buy this?
I don't think it's my friend Pedro.
That was the exact game I was going to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think it's
co-op.
that. We should absolutely check this one out, Johnny. But
like, in this trailer, it's all air dashes and double jumps and moving around.
I think that stuff's obtainable. I don't think it's as pretty. How about that? Is that fair? Like, I think you can do it. Like, you could easily be dashing around, but you might look bad doing it.
Fair enough. Okay.
But yeah, we should check this one out.
Well, if for some reason you don't like RoboQuest, you could play Gunhead instead, which comes out the very next day on PC and PS5. It's a build as a roguelite.
Stop me if you've heard this before.
That also appears to be very fast paced.
Yeah, this one came out the most recent Steam Next Fest that we did, Chase. This was a demo I had downloaded.
Yeah.
We didn't cover it on the show, but I find it was fine. I think it looked a lot cooler, in my opinion, than what it
art
played
style,
like.
I think this might have it over RoboQuest.
Yeah, for sure.
But gameplay, who knows?
Yeah, it's cool. Like, I like the little people that talk to you and shit. The engineers that come through, those are good dudes. But the demo was pretty solid.
Nice. Very cool. Also on the 8th, a different roguelike is out. Risk of Rain Returns, coming to PC and Switch. So this is a remake of the very first Risk of Rain game, which came out exactly 10 years ago from the original release.
I'm probably gonna buy this.
You probably should. If you don't already own the original Risk of
do.
Rain
on PlayStation,
and
but
even
I'd
if you
have it on PC, actually, I probably own it.
I have it on Vita and I have it on Switch, and I'm really tempted. I'm
I'm gonna pick this one up.
They say it's got a bunch of new content. The only thing I've seen that is definitively new is that there's a new character, which is the pilot character. It's $15. You know, I already own this game.
The art style, I know this is more of a cinematic. It's not pixel anymore, right?
I think that's right. Yeah, I think they gave it a full. They definitely gave it a full visual overhaul.
Yeah.
Gearbox is a part of this now, because they bought the license to Risk
just
of Rain.
Publishing, right? They didn't do the actual work.
I believe that is the case. Yes, but I also don't. I don't remember if this is actually Hopo who is developing this.
I'll check this one out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I love Risk of Rain, but is this whatever this new thing is, which isn't all that new, something I need to spend $15 on for a game I've already bought, actually 3 times, because I own it on PC as well.
Didn't you just talk about
this game 3 times?
The game? Hang on a second. Long Gone Days. I'm gonna point to you in Long Gone Days.
That was 2 games. This is now 3 platforms that I've already owned it on. This would be buying a game a 4th time, which,
that's what you get for playing so much on the Switch.
You know what? Here's a game I have bought at least 4 times was Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. Not for myself, but for my friends who didn't play it. Even hand delivered it to their homes. I played it. I own 3DSs.
Yeah, see how that worked out?
Yeah, went great. Man, what a good fucking game. You want to just spend another hour talking about Fire Emblem?
Sure don't.
All right. Then we move on to the 9th of November, where we're getting Bem Phyto. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
I think his name is Kit Fisto. He is a Jedi.
What's his species? He's not a
oh my god. No, it's
but he's also got like
he's not the same as Ahsoka. I'll look it up.
No, yeah, he's not a Tortuga,
Tortuga?
Togruta, not Tortuga. That's a pirate. Anyway, this game is coming to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5.
Nautilin.
Exactly. That was my next guess.
Mm-hmm.
PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X.
The ultimate gaming experience.
This is a Game Boy inspired life sim,
Hmm.
but it definitely seems like it's more than that, going into like some creepypasta territory here.
Oh, Johnny, maybe you can prepare this again sometime.
Yeah, this is probably something your child would be into if they knew what a Game Boy was.
Wow.
He knows what a Game Boy is.
Still real to me, damn it.
Does he? I don't know. I believe this is from a Spanish developer. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got a good look to it.
I don't like scary stuff, but I do like people who appreciate the Game Boy. So
yeah. There you go.
We'll see. Also on the 9th, Bobby mentioned this one as well, coming to Game Pass, but Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. This is the next Yakuza game, except we don't call them Yakuza anymore. We call them Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't a remake or a port to Western, right? This is a new one, right?
I believe this is a brand new video game.
Okay.
I think that is the case. This one is going back to the brawler mechanics instead of the turn-based RPG stuff that Yakuza Like a Dragon was. Looks good. Looks cool. I need to play one of them Yakuza games.
For as much as Johnny's into Grand Theft Auto, I'm surprised he doesn't play more of these.
Yeah.
I really liked what I played of Yakuza Like a Dragon.
But that one was also a turn-based RPG.
This looks
I think
insane.
the brawler stuff seems cool.
These games are so over the top, and like I love everything that they are about, but it also feels like this insurmountable thing because there are so many of them.
Yeah, I mean, what I hear people say is you should either start with Kiwami, which is a remake of the very first game, or Yakuza 0, which is a prequel to the first game.
Yes.
And I think Kiwami would probably be the way I would go at this point. But every time I see these games, I go, man, that'd be pretty cool. There was also, what was the detective one that looked really good? Judgment.
Judgment
was popular.
Pretty cool, and that was like a different, like a completely different story. And I was like, man, maybe I should just get in on Judgment. I don't know. These seems like they're doing some good stuff over there. Also on the 9th, speaking of good stuff, Sanabi is coming to PC and Switch. I just think this looks fucking sick. I think this looks so aesthetically
This looks like a game that Chase would say, oh, it's not great, but it looks cool.
Yeah, I am worried that it's going to be a Katana.
There's no fucking way you're going to play this thing. Let's be honest.
There is a fucking way that I play this. There's probably not a fucking way that I will enjoy this. You're right.
That's the thing. I think that
this is going to be a game where I play it for a little bit.
You're setting yourself up to be hurt.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it works out. Sometimes you play a game and it's Muramos the Demon Blade.
Got a grappling hook.
It does have a grappling
hook. Plus 2 for that, for sure. I mean, look, I agree with you. This thing looks awesome. It looks like something that Johnny and I would like. This looks like something that you would say, not for me, you simpletons. My brain's too big for a game like this, you smooth brain fucks.
That's not true at all. I think this game looks really cool, and I hope it plays as good as it looks.
Well, if we're not going to get the day after anytime soon, this certainly has those cyberpunk vibes.
Yep, agreed.
It looks cool. You said on pretty much everything?
No, just PC and Switch.
Okay.
So, the only platforms it needs to be on, right?
For us. For us.
Covered all its bit spaces. Let's move on to the 10th. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series.
Johnny's just seething over there. He's so mad.
They finally did it, guys. They made a third Call of Duty. I'm shocked.
How mad are you, Johnny?
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Oh,
I did see today.
What's the problem?
Because they said they were just gonna like add stuff to Modern Warfare 2. the second Modern Warfare 2
Yeah, I've heard.
that I really enjoyed. Uh, and then they're like, actually, we're putting another game out, LOL. And it's like, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's $70. Like, I don't care about the campaign. They're fun. But
See, that's
I'm
my
always,
problem. I only care about the campaign. I wish I
Well,
could
hey,
just give them
you,
$25
you don't have to do
and
that.
be like,
You'll
give
have
me
your
the
Game Pass
campaign.
next year.
yep.
Okay, fair
Everything will
enough.
be on Game Pass.
Fair enough.
I would imagine.
So I have no plans to pick this up uh, at this time.
Yeah, smart.
But they did say that they're going to gradually add in the maps from Modern Warfare
God.
2.
This thing's 160 gigabytes, right?
Probably.
It's too many.
It's a lot of gigabytes.
They've been around that size because you have like DMZ and Warzone and all that shit.
Did any of us play the original Modern Warfare 3?
Yep.
What year was that? Do you know?
2011? No.
Probably not.
2009?
I don't remember either.
I was with God, I don't know.
Yeah.
You were with God? How was that?
I was with Misty.
Was he just as disappointed as we are?
You better believe it. Yeah, I didn't like the original Modern Warfare 3 very much.
I don't think I'll be playing this.
Yeah.
I remember playing the tiniest bit of Modern Warfare 3 at my cousin's place, and remember it not being as fun as Modern Warfare 1 or 2, which I put a ton of fucking time into because it just hit at the exact perfect time for me in college where I had enough free time. I had enough disposable income. I had enough people around me who were playing it online and partying up and doing stuff like that. Um, I'm just not that guy anymore, and I just don't care about the multiplayer. So as much as I'd like to have another all gillied up style thing, I just this trailer though, it was so perfect. You know how I talk about the Madden trailers and like the sports game trailers? This I think is another masterclass of what if we just found a fucking trailer in a time capsule. It's got it's got a fucking slowed down classic song, except the classic song is Don't Fear the Reaper, which is already a pretty downer of a song. And somehow they tried to make it even more of a downer. But it's like it's the fucking Gears of War trailer from fucking 2011.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, Mad World.
And also, I don't know if we've seen it in the trailer yet at this point, but there's like a terrorist on a plane, and he gets a text message, and it says "No Russian." I'm like, that's not even from this fucking game.
It's not.
Like no Russians in Modern Warfare 2.
Well, I think that's I think they took some liberties, if I'm not mistaken. On
here it is. There it is. No Russian.
Yeah.
Oh,
there was a level that was like all gillied up, and 2, which is from
like
1.
What are they fucking doing?
I don't know.
Remastering, baby. What's next?
That's not what this is. It's not even a remaster. This is like a complete overhaul.
I know.
Everything's dumb. I fucking hate it. Yeah, let's move on to the 14th of November, which is Karmazoo, all one word, coming to PC, Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series X. We've seen this before. I can't remember if it was at like the Wholesome Direct or something. Maybe it was on a Nintendo
Devolver.
Direct. Yeah, it's a Devolver. Sorry, because this is a Devolver game. I think this idea rocks. Multiplayer platformer where everybody plays as different animals, and each of the different animals has different abilities and skills to either help or hinder people from getting to the finish line. Like they talk here, like, hey, this raptor character is able to run really fast and jump high. You've got an owl that can glide across stuff. You've got like an elephant that's able to make itself into like a platform for other people to jump over the top on. Um, it's like um part collaborative but also part competitive in trying to get to the goal first, but also trying to use everybody around. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Ultimate Chicken Horse, if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
seems cool.
Yeah,
seems fucking cool.
Devolver usually hits, man. I like their stuff.
I have to imagine that's online stuff where you're connecting with people like that. Because I can't imagine that would be. I mean, I'm sure it would be fun in a local multiplayer environment too. But I think fucking over random strangers is more what you want out of a game like that.
Totally.
On the 15th, American Arcadia is coming to PC only, and it doesn't look like they even have plans to bring it anywhere else later, which is kind of a
It's got
bummer
a
because I
look
think
to it,
this game
man.
looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is another cool concept. So it's kind of like an Inside, where it's like a 2D platformer with one character, but then you have this other character that has a first person perspective who's kind of doing like puzzly stuff is like your
It's,
person on the
it's, it's
inside.
kind of like when Neo's talking in the Matrix to Morpheus about like, okay, turn
Yeah,
left, turn right, go here. It's like you're guiding somebody through those terrible situations.
that's much better than what my reference was going to be. Is like the original Paper Mario, where Princess Peach
Oh,
is in the
no.
castle and you play as her in like little parts, and like yeah, it seems like a little bit more involved here. Really story driven stuff. Like it's not two separate. You're not playing this with two characters. This isn't the
Yeah,
I forgot the guy's name, but the guy who said fuck EA or
this isn't
fuck
Get Out or
yeah yeah.
Takes Two or whatever.
You're right, that guy, Jonas. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, you're not. This isn't a co-op game. It's not a simultaneous thing. It's like you're going between characters as they help each other out to get through this thing. Seems really cool. I
Yeah.
think this looks rad. I wish it was on more than PC, but also I have a PC. I could just play this game. I need to stop. I need to stop complaining
Yes. Yes.
about that.
Yep.
What I won't stop complaining about is that Persona 5 Tactica has a bad art style.
Yes, it does.
It's coming out on the 17th to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Man, I really don't like this art.
Yeah, what is up with this art style?
They have other Persona 5 art styles they can do. I understand not doing the original art style. Maybe that's too much for this, but they've made like the Persona Q games where people are even more of a chibi style that I still think is works in a way that this just doesn't. This is like
I
weird
don't like the art
advertisement.
style, but I like everything else I'm seeing for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's still despite not liking the art, I like the quote unquote style of the game
This
from
seems like a Mario and Rabbids to me. The more I watch it,
possibly. Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
Yep. Getting that
Hopefully,
vibe.
it plays just as well.
seriously,
Because I would love to have a cool tactics game, and I like the idea of having it tied to Persona. I wish it was tied to a better Persona game, but
I do
yeah,
have us slated to stream this on a Monday night after it
okay,
comes out. I
sure.
thought that would be fun for you and I to check out and put it through its paces there for everybody.
It does have co-op. I
Mm-hmm.
have to imagine that there's some online co-op. I would hope.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know if you still have Game Pass and you'd want to try it that way, but we could definitely
Yeah,
do that on a Monday.
yeah, that's a possibility. Also on the 17th, Super Mario
Hell
RPG,
yeah.
Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong 3,
I'm so
Adventures of
excited
Lolo
for
1 and
this.
2. I'm not going to do the whole thing. Yes, coming out to the Nintendo Switch. We're excited. This is
Very.
this is like this is like the Dead Space remake of Nintendo games.
It is.
Johnny,
never
you never
played
played
this.
this one, right? There we go.
Nope.
Exactly. That's what I
I
meant.
played
It's
it.
it's
I
the
played a
Dead Space
little
remake
bit.
of Nintendo games.
I played a little bit of it on an emulator. I think
Do you think you'll
many
get
years
this?
ago. Probably.
I think you'll like this one, man. It's not very long either.
Yeah, it's a very short RPG. I have not played very much of this at all. I only played this when, and I'm sure I've told this story before. I rented this
Mm-hmm.
when the Blockbuster did not have any copies of Yoshi's Island. That game had just come out, and I was like, I want to rent Yoshi's Island, and it wasn't there. But this other Mario game was there, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll try what this is. And it was not a platformer, so I went,
No,
I don't like this. It's not what I expected. But I was
it's
a dumb
very good.
I was a dumb little kid back then, and now I'm like, this is probably one of the raddest things they could have done.
Yep.
So yeah,
Very
I look
curious to
forward
hear
to
you
it
two
playing this.
talk about this one because I have very fond memories of it from my childhood.
I've always considered going back and just playing the original because it does
Mhm.
look great. It has been on the wheel, and I have updated the wheel at some point to say like, yeah, just wait for the remake at this point,
Yeah.
I guess. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Seeing Booster and Malo
Yeah.
and what's the puppet's name? Gino.
Gino.
Everybody loves Gino.
Gino's Pizza.
Yeah. So that's it. Oh, and then on the 28th, like people again, they kind of forget that video games still come out after the 17th, and then who knows? Maybe this won't happen based on recent news. But
Great. We can stop talking about it.
there is technically supposed to be a Destiny 2 new season 23 coming out.
Read the room, Destiny.
Coming to PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. This is supposed to be the final season before the final shape and getting away from the seasonal model.
Wait,
Which,
Cade 6 is
people
back?
seem to be tired of. Kind of, they're going into the. So this is
God.
all.
Okay.
I will say this trailer stuff is from the final shape. It's not from. It's not from the new season. The final shape is like they go into the Traveler and Cade's spirit or something's in there, and so it's like he's still kind of dead, but I don't know. We haven't seen much about what this next season is going to be about, but we now know after the giant delay that they've added to the final shape. It was supposed to come out in February, and now it's coming out in June. This season is going to be like half a year now.
That seems like a long time.
It seems like a long time for something that usually is around for, maybe 3 months, and now it's like, okay, we'll see. But hey, final shape is getting delayed to what Bungie is saying to make it the way better and to right the ship, and this is still a franchise they say they want to keep going for a long time. But that studio has gone under some layoffs very recently. There's a lot of uncertainty going on there. We'll have to see. They don't even have a name for it yet. It's still Season of the Redacted at this point. So we'll figure out what that is. Anyway, that is the month of October. So now the only thing left for us to do is talk about our picks for the month. And I think I'm going to start with Bobby again. Bobby, what are you feeling this month?
Super Mario RPG, Persona 5 Tactica, Risk of Rain Returns, My Time at Sandrock.
Solid list. Mine sounds somewhat similar. I also have Super Mario RPG on there. I also have Persona 5 Tactica, although I am saying this is kind of like more of a hope than a pick. I kind of expect that game to not necessarily hit me right, but I really hope it does because I want it to. I have Sanabi on there, despite, again, that's probably more of a hope consider after what we said about it.
Yeah.
But then
I hope that kills you.
I'm kind of most excited about the Star Ocean game. Star Ocean.
Yeah, man.
Second Story
It looks
R,
slick.
That's a game that can be really cool. Johnny, how you feeling?
I also have Persona 5 Tactica, Risk of Rain Returns, RoboCop Rogue City, and Super Mario RPG.
He wrote
Super
Mario. Very cool. Well, thank you guys.
Man.
Surprisingly, this was a long one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna throw it back over to Bobby to end the fucking show.
Yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff going on. As we mentioned, we are multi-streaming these days. We are live on Kick, YouTube, and Twitch. We have our quick looks that go up on Twitch as well, or on YouTube as well. This week, we had a really fun Halloween stream that we did last night for WWF No Mercy. You can go and watch that on any of those sites I just mentioned. Tonight was all about those game previews. We're going to have a few more weeks of Tuesday night shows. We'll be back on Wednesdays after Thanksgiving. And then this week, we've got a quick look going up of Marvel's Spider-Man 2. We also have a quick look on Thursday for Chance of Sonar. And then on Friday night, Johnny, myself, and friend of the show, Jason, are heading back to Remnant 2 to take on a boss and hopefully unlock some more keys. Chase, what do you got going on?
A couple things. I did mention Pokemon Emerald Rogue. I know Johnny mentioned this on the podcast last week as well, but I did my wheel article on that. You can go to gamersonthego.com and read about how I think that game fucking rules. I also have Chase K Plays, my YouTube channel, where at the moment I have been going back to SteamWorld Heist. Fantastic little tactical tactical turn-based game, RPG. And I've put out a couple episodes last week, and there should be another new episode going out tomorrow. So, or if you're listening to this through the Friday podcast feed, it's already out. Go listen to it. Go watch it. That's been fun. Hopefully, that's about to wrap up. I think I only have 1 or 2 more episodes of that before I'm done with that game and can move on to a new title. So that's exciting as well.
Awesome. We will be back live on Friday. We got some quick looks for you in between then now. Take care, everybody. Happy Halloween.
Bye.